laugh. Every time. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Meta-Two AfterShow, NXT AfterShow. I am Katrina, host and creator of In Cat We Trust, and I'm here with my twin. We are everybody's favorite duo, but I'm here with my girly, Shay. How are you today?
I'm doing good, okay? King Turtleneck is back. All is right with the world. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. I'm tired. Definitely tired. It's cold. Hey, George. It is cold, and I'm like, all right, see, this is, y'all wanted snow, and now look. Ew. And next to that. But I am happy we got King of the Turtlenecks and Goatees back. It wasn't enough, though. I'm going to need them to get this together next week. Let's get it right, because it's been too long. You give him TV time. That's the time that people need to have. Okay? But yes. Otherwise, I am fine. What were your thoughts on this week's NXT overall?
It was fun. It was a lot of story progression, which I'm always a fan of. And there were some pretty fun matches. I mean, that main event was... The women, they're going to do it for me every time. Like, they really are. Like, I just... Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought it was pretty, a solid episode. I thought it was more fun. I mean, last week was cool too, but I feel like this was definitely a little bit more fun in regards to like some of the matches we got. But let's jump right into it. And so the first matchup, actually the first matchup starts off with tag action, another Dusty classic tag match between Carmelo Trick or Trick Mellow Gang as it's and Edris and Malik. And so this, I really thought this was really oh man. Listen. We don't need that. See, I'm trying to start off positively. I'm talking about what the greatness we got in the Dusty Classic. So I thought this was actually a fantastic open, to be fair. NXT did use a combined version of Trick and Melo's themes, and it seemed Booker T seemed really annoyed. Anytime Trick's version that played, he didn't seem too happy about. During this matchup, commentary did also allude to the fact that the crowd seemed way more behind Trick Williams, which kind of overshadowed Carmelo a bit. I did like that, the bright colors, like Malik and Edris both wore like yellow and black polka dot, which I thought was really in honor of, Dusty. I thought that was pretty cool. And then Trick and Carmelo also wore like bright yellow, which I was just like, I'm guessing it's because of Dusty, and that's probably the reason why we got that. But and then Carmelo had a bit of a spot on SmackDown that kind of could have been an issue. But I thought this was a fantastic match. I thought this was probably some of the best we've gotten so far, and I know it's pretty new because we just started it last week. But even with Edris and Malik being fantastic, because they really was, and I feel like they're for me, they're one of the tag teams that stay pretty reliable when we have them. With that being said, I would agree to an extent that I do think Malik and Edris should have won. He did a flash knee. Trick Williams did a flash knee and pick up the win. And so I feel like I'm kind of iffy on this, and it's for a few reasons. One being that there's still this weird thing between Carmelo and Trick. How well can you go in a tournament when you guys have all this unspoken whatever that's happening? It's still like, while supposedly it was solved, but it's not solved, and that's obvious by the way these matches are going. I do think they should have had a tag run before this. I felt like they should have gave this to us some time ago, honestly. Like last year, we should have gotten some kind of tag run, because now it kind of feels like this is an afterthought. Like if you're going to, and so because I feel like that there's still the issues, which means how long could this tag team really last? I felt like Malik and Edris, who have been consistently, being what they needed to be as a tag team, as a vet tag team in NXT. I felt like they should have won it off that alone. But either way, I do think this is a really good open. Truly thought it was really nice way to start off NXT. What were your thoughts on this match?
It definitely was fun. I loved. I'm always gonna be a fan of Malik and Edris. I think that they're like so underrated. I feel like I hate that they keep having to take these L's. Again, I was annoyed because I'm like, here we go again. 2 single stars taking up a spot, and an established tag team that has been an established tag team for years has to take an L in a tag team tournament. Like, how you see how crazy this is? But it was definitely a fun match. I love the double suicide dives and just the back and forth. Like, they all have really good chemistry. The way that the NXT crowd and Booker T switched up on Carmelo Hayes needs to be studied. I've never seen this in my life. That is crazy. Like, they was really booing. They was booing when his music came on. That is nasty business. I do not support it. Yeah, they really should have done this all way before. You're so right on that. Like, now it's like they're rushing, like they're speed running everything because they're about to break up. And that's annoying to me. I think this is just a way for them. Like, it seems very clear that they're probably going to get to the finals just because of, the whole, they've already set the tone. Oh, can Trick do 2 matches in one night? Like, oh my God, it's going to be, now I'm getting scared. They going to have him beat. I'm going to lose my mind is what I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the main event because I'm going to be so heated because the writing is on the wall and I don't like the writing. I actually don't like the writing. I pretend I do not see, actually. That's what, like, this is sickening. I can't believe this. Like, we really, I just can't believe it. And you know what, Mello? I'm on your side. You're muted.
My bad, guys. My bad. My bad. Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, Jeffrey, I agree with you with regards to. I do think they kind of alluded to an extent that this is probably what we're gonna get. And I'm like, oh man, guys, you guys could have kept this quiet just a little longer. Like, I don't know. You probably shouldn't did that, especially since Alan Dragunov, he did say that you know he's going to be facing Trick at Vengeance Day, and that's when the finals is. And so it's implying that either you got to make a choice, or you're going to try to pull off both. And I think that was why Carmelo kind of said, like, well, you do know the finals. It's like he pretty much telling you, like, forget that solo title. That's pretty much what he's saying, in my opinion.
They literally want Trick to have his Daniel Bryan moment. That's all this is. Listen, HBK be like, let me speed run every storyline ever in NXT over again in a different way with like little tweaks, but the same thing. I can't do it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I am looking, forward to the thing. I just feel like I don't know how I feel about the putting him in a tag team and waiting this late to do it. And with all this stuff, it's too much other stuff happening for me that it's like, all right, guys, y'all couldn't do this before. Like, do y'all need me to get this scheduled for y'all? Because y'all doing shenanigans. So then, after that, there was a segment where Obafemi told NXT Universe that he's reached his destiny as North American champion. And Dragon Lee then challenged him for a rematch at Vengeance Day, and Oba basically said he is not accepting nothing just yet because the open challenge is closed. And so, while there was a joke because somebody was saying how young he's supposed to be, and I was like, I don't know, man. You look way older than I am, and I'm like, in my mid-30s, and so, but I do think the crowd likes him, and I do think he's definitely a specimen as far as like size and everything. With that being said, this whole how are you gonna say you're gonna go against anybody that stands in your way, and then you get a rematch, and you're like, nah. And to me, that's conflicting. If you are gonna go knock down anybody who stands in your way, well, Dragon Lee won a rematch, so knock him down. Why do we need to wait? What do you mean it's closed? Already messing up the vibes. Already messing up the North American Challenge and vibes. Okay, that's what Wesley was on. He's on those vibes. You gotta be there, my guy. Okay, if you're gonna have, even if Dragon Lee lose again, you might as well just get it over with. What's the point of saying you're gonna do all this and then you have the opportunity and you're like, nah, I'm fine. I'm good on that. So the segment was okay. I was okay. I do think that again he's a powerful wrestler in regards to that's something he could be used, and he's still pretty okay on the mic. That it's obviously he gets more established, it'll be better. But I don't know. I just was just like, how do you want to say all that? And then it's like, nah, it's closed. Like, well then what's the point of your speech? You're gonna hear all that then. But what were your thoughts on that segment?
So in the beginning, I was not into it because it was getting a little bit too. A long time ago, there was a man, like it was giving fairy tale, like he said, I was crushed to dust. I'm like, calm down, first and foremost. Like, whoa. It was just like, I don't know, it was feeling too like rehearsed and like dramatic for me. And then like I feel like he got comfortable when Dragon Lee came out. Then we got like the cockiness and him just like, no, the open challenges are closed. Like, I don't know, it just made me laugh. Like, honestly, the vibe I got from him was like very Gunther esque. Geez, not X, but esque. In terms of like, he's very like cocky and just kind of like, I know I could beat you up if I wanted to vibe. Like the way he was looking at Dragon Lee was like, no, I don't feel like it. But if I felt like it, I definitely would beat you up again. I like the vibe. Like, I don't know, because I was really not sold on him. I wasn't really feeling it. Like everyone knows I was not. But that little bit of his interaction and how he went about things with Dragon Lee just kind of won me over. And then also the Batista fit. Like he came out, he was saying, look at me, I'm dressed like Batista. This is what I mean. I mean business right now. That is an iconic fit. He won me over with the iconic Batista fit, honestly. I don't know.
Now, while I will agree that Batista's fit is definitely one top tier wrestling fits, definitely the top. That made me a little annoyed, honestly, because I'm like, don't you be coming here, you big self, with his fit? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I didn't like that. That's what I'm saying. And while I get that he's a big guy, he's a powerful guy, I'm also very impartial when people come being cocky when you haven't done much yet. You haven't done much yet. Calm down. Calm, slow your roll, hold your horses, whatever the saying may be. Calm down. You're doing too much. See, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how you cocky when you done nothing yet? Like, okay, you won the thing, but let's see in a month will this cocky. But like, you can't be talking like this all crazy yet, and you haven't done anything. It's not like you came in like CM Punk or something where you've been gone and came back. You kind of talking some shit. Calm down. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, top tier Batista fit every time. That's definitely a fit for me. See, turtlenecks time. Turtlenecks is in, guys. Every time. But yeah, I was just like, well, guess we'll see. I just don't be talking smack though if you plan on not like doing it. I would have rather you just not respond at all. To be fair, if you're gonna do all that. But yeah, And so this now brings us to our next matchup, which was some tag action between Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez versus Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. And so backstage, Tatum did warn Elektra and Lola that she would stop from even touching her champion and that she promised to basically like win the battle royal to protect Valkyria. And so Tatum pretty much had like matching gear to kind of go with Lyra. So I was like, okay. And so this was decent. I do think that Tatum did keep her promise for the most part. I think she took most of the offense. She did most of that. And I do think for the time we had, because I didn't feel like it was that long, it was good action. And I do think that this really allowed us to see Tatum's, athleticism, but also how well she kind of follows Lyra as far as offense. I feel like it was very similar, and maybe that was on purpose. I guess it was like a role model. But I did I do like it. I do like. I feel like this can go either way with Tatum. Like she could really just be a person who want to be supporting and be a fan, or she could be completely insane. I feel like it could be either way. Honestly, you can't really tell just yet where it is, and I do like that aspect of it. But with that being said, Tatum gave Lola a roundhouse kick for Lyra, and then she fell onto Electra Lopez, and they got the count. And so Tatum and Lyra did win this match by pinfall. But this was a pretty solid match for the little bit of time we got with them. It wasn't too long. But what were your thoughts on this?
I feel like from start to finish, Tatum was just winning me over. She's so like deeply invested into this like role, and I just kind of love that. I love when I see that someone is really digging into their role. Like that is so cool to me. And I feel like she's been knocking it out of the park. What I love about her also is you can see that she's really focusing on like, improving in the ring. You can see it. I love that she comes and brings new moves. Like, I remember people were talking about how she kind of started doing a move from Siori, I believe, from Stardom that she made famous. And Tatum had been doing it a little bit. So it's like she's really studying and looking for moves and really trying to like round out what her, move set's going to be. I like that because it shows she cares, So I'm just really becoming a fan of her all around. Lyra, I like the way it's like you could see Lyra caring more and more about her every week. Like, oh, this is the stuff that I love. Like, I love oddball types like this. Even the tweet that Lyra did when she's like, if you see my outfit on Amazon, don't buy it. Someone stole it. And then we find out it's Tatum who took it the whole time. Like, that is so funny to me. I love it. And I think this is great for Lyra. It's giving her more character. It's making her more interesting. 10s all around. Lola, stop side-eyeing. You better stop side-eyeing Electra. You better stop. But now I guess it's over. Ain't no more side-eyeing. They swinging now, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, no, you guys know how I feel about Lola. So, not that she's bad necessarily, just like, I guess. But yeah, I do definitely think that, like I said, this can really go either way. It could literally be where she'll appreciate it, and it's not too like she's just really odd, but not necessarily, or she could be completely crazy. I feel like this could honestly go either way, because you kind of really don't know. I feel like she's doing very well to kind of lie in the middle a bit.
She got it tailored.
Yeah, I think that's what it was said. And so in the next matchup, we had Rich Holland versus Joe Coffey, who was accompanied by Gallus. And so this was, Rich did come out to his own theme song, and I'm guessing it seems like they may be getting rid of the Brawling Brutes, I guess, whatever, because they got this whole thing, happening, I guess, to hopefully get to get back him to his own, I guess, rebranding, if that's what we're gonna do. And so Joe tried. He tried, but I felt like Rich was a bit too powerful for him. Basically, he did a clothesline and a Michinoku driver to win. But then afterwards, Gallus did beat him up to say that I guess he had no friends in NXT. I thought, well, okay, I guess, And like I said, he clearly has like talent, but I don't know. I feel like it's obviously not clicking with the audience, and I don't know if it's because the audience have is it because they still feel away about the whole Big E thing? I don't know, but it doesn't feel like he's hitting properly. So maybe they use the sympathy card, like, oh, he's all alone, and he has nobody to help him when they get beat up. Then maybe it'll help him get better with the crowd. But what were your thoughts on this matchup?
It was a pretty decent, solid match. Like, nothing wrong with it. So are they just gonna pretend like the whole Dragunov Ridge thing didn't happen? Because that's the vibe I'm getting, and I'm actually very irritated. Like, So what? Like Dragunov was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna leave you alone because you're trying to hurt me. Like what? Why would Dragunov wouldn't just let it go? This is what's like pissing me off because do you really think that Dragunov would let that go? You want me to believe that? And he just came back smiling, ear to ear, just like the happiest man alive. After he's been out for how many weeks? And he just let it go? I can't. But honestly, Butch tweeting the shoulder shrugs, like exactly. Because where was you when Pretty Deadly was knocking his head loose? You was nowhere. So exactly, he's nowhere. So you're lay there, stay there. And honestly, he needs to change his entrance music because I thought that the ghouls and goblins were about to come out. It was so sad. It's like, like who is humming? I didn't like it. He needs to change it. I swear to you. I will not go another month with this song, and it better be different. Like what was that? These like hymns. Like
No, I definitely don't like the theme either. To be fair, I don't. Uh, but yeah, we'll see. And so there was a few segments. One being JBL finding Josh Briggs backstage to kind of tell him to be his own man and just not follow his footsteps. I mean, okay. And then there was also a segment with Drew Gulak making no quarter cash crew go back to basics. And you know, there was a clause, a catch clause in their contract that allowed them to decide on the day who fought for the group in each match, which I was like, I mean, okay, whatever. What were your thoughts on these segments?
Okay, I didn't hear the first one because my computer did a thing. But I'll talk about the second one, and you tell me what the first one was. Second one, I love that commercial. It was giving Under Armour. It was giving like sports. I liked it. That's what I have to say about that. Now, what was the first one you said again?
JBL and Josh Briggs. JBL pretty much told him to kind of find himself, be his own person.
They're really trying to push this. Like, I mean, I guess as long as he don't come for the not the North Korean, the Heritage Cup, leave that alone. As long as he leaves that alone, fine. You can do whatever this is, and we'll figure it out. I guess.
Yeah, no, I do think that the no quarter. I thought that way definitely did get Under Armour vibes. I liked it. I appreciated that. Next, we had another Dusty Classic with Chase U with Andre Chase versus LWO featuring Zelina. She was there with them, and so there were some moments in this. NXT Anonymous did catch JC continuing her plan to save Chase U with the women of the university, which I'm like, I mean, okay, I guess, JC. Zelina also, I guess nobody knew she was going to be there, and I didn't either, and so it was definitely a nice surprise to see her, and you know, that the crowd missed her. I do think the crowd was more into LWO than Chase U, and I know it's probably because of this whole weird cheating thing. But then, you know, Duke doing his signature Chase U chant seemed to get the crowd back over. There was also some what Wild caught Duke by surprise after like a blind tag and hit him with a drop kick and then a moonsault to the floor and like a top suicide, which I thought was really, 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 really solid stuff. I do think that because there was a commercial break during this, I do feel like it kind of took a little bit away from the match, kind of going back in. There was like, I thought that this was a match that could have been like maybe picture in picture or something. Because I felt like it did take a little bit away, kind of coming back into it. But I do think this was a really like fast-paced, really impressive match. And you know, LWO wind up hitting a combination moonsault and Phoenix Splash to win, and so LWO did move forward. I do think even like Joe Quinn, while he seemed like the audience really, really, really worked into him. And, you know, I think this is a good way to kind of get them back on track because I don't feel like they really hit the way they could have on SmackDown personally. And so I think this is it. But I thought this can I do feel like if they keep this up, they're definitely going to be a team to really watch in the Dusty Finals, the Dusty Classic Finals. And or I think they'll make it to the finals rather. If they keep this up, honestly. But I thought it was really, really, really good. Like really, just really fantastic work between them, but they did win, and so they are advancing in the Dusty Classic. What were your thoughts on this match?
The right people won. Listen, Chase, y'all need to get what's going on in your house together before y'all coming out here trying to be all up in classics. Figure out what's going on in your house, because Duke just wants to pretend like it's not happening. He doesn't want to he has no input, no help, nothing. Him and his funky little trophy that he could sell to help, but he won't. And that's nasty business right there. Yeah, the right people won for sure. I'm really happy about LWO getting this like resurgence. Like I feel like they're really getting that time in NXT. And I also just love that. I feel like Joaquin Wilde is really getting his flowers now. He felt like y'all was playing on his top. He felt like y'all was trying to say that he wasn't that dude. And he said, okay, you're wrong. And let me show you why. And he's been doing it for weeks now. I think it really started since he had that match with Santos Escobar on SmackDown. He has been hitting, period. I mean, he's been hitting for me for a long time. I'll tell you, I've been a fan for, a while. Okay? Waiting outside TNA after the show to get a picture. Like, I've been a fan, okay? But it's just nice to see everyone else kind of, like, finally giving him the flowers that he deserves, because he's so talented. And I'm just happy for LWO. And I was happy to see Zelina. You know, I'm always happy to see my girl. So, yeah. I love this.
Yep, definitely with you on that. I do think the right people won as well. I do think it should have been them. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to see what they do going forward in this. There was also a segment where Braun, Breakker, and Baron argued over their tag team names, which I don't even know why it's a thing, but here we are. And so, what were your thoughts, I guess, on that segment?
I'm so sorry. My thing cut out again. What was the segment you said? I am having a day. I am having a day. It was what I will say.
Braun and Baron arguing about tag names.
Oh my god, the Wolf Dogs. I like, they need to print the shirts already, because I'm already sold. Like, Braun, this is literally what Braun needed to like prove that he has that personality and that like sense of humor, and he has like, comedic timing. This has been perfect for him. I've laughed. Them going out of their way to sabotage each other every week. I want them to win the whole thing. That's where I'm at, because it is so funny to me at this point. Like, it is so funny. I will be so upset if Carmelo and Trick win this. I swear. Oh my god. I'm having like war flashbacks. Like, I cannot. It needs to be, it's either, for me, oh my god, anyone but Trick and Melo is what I'm getting at. I don't want to see it. They literally only are doing Trick and Melo because they want Melo to be on the card, of course, but they also are trying to give Trick that mega ultra, he can do it all, he's great, he's amazing. I can't. We already get it. I agree. He is great and amazing. You don't have to do this. Please stop. Give it to either LWO, Nathan and Axiom, yes, or the Wolf Dogs, and that is their name moving forward. I don't care what Baron has to say or what his thoughts are about people thinking about whatever in showers. This is what's happening. Wolf Dogs.
Just to this comment, I didn't say I didn't laugh a little bit. I did a little, but also me laughing a tad does not make me a Baron Corbin fan. I need you to get that together. And that's what I mean when I said to be asked for this, is because I'm still not asking for Baron on my TV. Doesn't mean the segment wasn't good. I just don't like him. And so I will always have to put that negativity when he's mentioned. That is all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, it was good. I'm not a Baron Corbin fan, and so I just have to always just like, I guess when we're talking about us. I mean, you got a smile earlier, Jeffrey. You got it earlier. Right now, I will not give. The smile is away at the moment. So that leads us now to our next matchup with Trey Bearhill versus Dijak. And so Eddie threw and Trey did talk about their culture, and the Dijak felt the need to come in and mock them, and so Trey decided to challenge, basically challenge him. So Joe Gacy would join on commentary, kind of putting over what was happening, and Dijak got into his face, and then Joe headbutted him, and this kind of like wound up brawling. But before I get anywhere, this was okay. I do think for anything, this Trey show how powerful he is. I do think it surprised Dijak to an extent. With how he has a good amount of power and he can really probably do something with it. With that being said, Dijak uh will hit him with a discus big boot to win. And then after, Lexus will then come out and beat up Trey, uh, and told him to stay out of his business. And then this also led to the stuff with Dijak and Joe Gacy. But here we are. It was all right, I guess. What were your thoughts on this matchup?
I think it was pretty solid. Nothing I'm like gonna write home about, but solid. Trey is just not doing it for me. I don't know. I just don't know. But it's just not. It's not happening for me right now. But you know what? The future always changes things. So that's what I have to say. Dijak, he's just great. He gets more great every week. His tweets make me laugh like so much. He's just like, man, he's such a like he's so underrated. That's what I have to say. He's really so underrated. Like I really do. I love Dijak when he's not beating up Eddie Thorpe. When he's beating up Eddie Thorpe, his hands, it's like it's on site. Other than that, any other time, Dijak, you are the man. Seriously. Joe Gacy, you're hilarious. You are hilarious. The way that Booker was like, took off his glasses, like Booker is literally a meme machine. He is so funny without trying. I can't. Joe Gacy is literally having a meltdown. He's literally like, if you ever saw the show Dollhouse, when Echo just had every personality going on, that's what it's giving right now, Joe. I clocked your tea. I know you got a Hulu account. You already told me now. I know you're watching it. Lexus is such a great heel as well. I love Lexus King. He's so delusional. It's fantastic. And he's like, listen, he was smacking Trey up. I said, calm down. You smacking this man up. He been out. Calm it down. But don't calm it down because I love that. I love that. That's the same thing that Ludwig Kaiser did. Don't stop. I love that. That's the heel I need. Don't stop.
No, I definitely kind of agree with you with the whole Joe Gacy. I don't know, definitely shenanigans, definitely shenanigans. I did there was because you mentioned the Heritage Cup. Von Wagner did tell Robert Stone that he would win gold in 2024 after challenging Gnome for the Heritage Cup, and I'm like, here we are again. Never. To that comment. I'm just like, Von Wagner, who asked for this? Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
I really hope he do not go after that because I will be I let me not say disgusted, but I don't want to see it is what I will say because the caliber of match quality will go down significantly. I'm sorry. This is the truth. This is the truth. I'm sorry. I don't want it.
No, you're right. You be nice about it. You need to be nice. Nobody's asking for Von Wagner. Nobody's like, oh, I can't wait to. No. I'm not asking. I don't even know why Von Wagner's still on TV, to be fair. Like, why? He's another person. Nobody's asked for this. I mean, I don't know why you would want to be this. I don't know what kind of shenanigans you were on. But you decide on a Tuesday, you'd be like, you know what I can't wait for? Ooh, Von Wagner. Who's like, that's crazy. It's crazy work for me. I don't know. But, yeah, I hope not either. I just don't want him. I don't want him on my TV. I don't know if it's on a level of like how I feel about like certain people, but I don't want him on my TV. Like, no, we didn't ask for this. Nobody asked for this, like at all. But here we are. Here we are. This now leads us to the main event, which is the number one contender battle royal and fatal 4-way. And so this was pretty solid. And so Fallon Henley did promise to make the most of this opportunity. And Ariana Grace was talking about herself, and it seemed to have led to the locker or the women's locker room kind of emptying out. I guess they didn't want to hear her. The family talked up Adriana Rizzo before her match, and her and Jada Parker, which I know that kind of alluded that this would happen, they were the ones that got into it and got eliminated. They got each other eliminated from the match. There was also a moment where I believe Kalani, who's kind of just wanted to focus on her future, but was talking to Brinley, and she, which I thought was really cool, made a Kofi Kingston, how we good for those kind of like getting yourselves back into the ring situation. I thought it was really Kofi Kingston-esque, really, really well done because she got put in an announce table early. And so this, I thought, was a really wild but really fun type of main event. I really, liked it. I thought the women really, really showed out and did their things. The final four, however, I thought was the correct thing. Personally, I thought it was just like the correct for the people to kind of be how it was. I thought it was the correct thing. I thought it was correct thing with it being Fallon, Kiana, Roxanne, and Kalani Jordan. And so I thought this was really, really well done. Lola Vice would eliminate Elektra Lopez, which, and then Tatum then took out Lola. And this would wind up being Lola and Elektra kind of brawling into the back, which is where we figured this was going to happen like 2 weeks ago, that they were going to probably brawl. But with that being said, Roxanne would do, I feel like this is where I was kind of iffy, just because, I feel like we don't really know for sure where Roxanne is in regards to like, the last few weeks. But Roxanne would win this matchup. I even thought like the transition from the Battle Royal into the Fatal 4-Way was really, really, really good. Obviously, Fallon kind of had like really good momentum, but I guess this is hoping can put Roxanne back in somewhere she's supposed to be. Because again, I've been saying I wasn't really sure where Roxanne was recently. And so, Roxanne would win this match, and she is now the new number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. But otherwise, I literally thought, this was a fantastic match. Also, Carmen Petrovic did kick Blair Davenport out of action, but then Blair would make her pay with a knee strike. And then Ren Sinclair, which I believe is Maddie, that's her new, and it's Maddie. She replaced Cora, who is injured, and made it to the final five, but obviously then, Lash Legend, and Kiana took her out. But otherwise, I thought this was a really, really fun main event. I thought, again, good transitions, good action between them. But here we are. And so that was the winner of this. Roxanne is the new number one contender. What are your thoughts on how you're feeling about this main event and how it ended?
I'm not mad at it. Now, I feel like Vengeance Day probably might be Roxanne's last match. Like, I don't know, I'm getting that vibe. Like, she's done everything she can do. I feel like it's time. It feels like time. I'm not happy that she doesn't get to kind of rewrite how her reign went, but I just feel like she's outgrown NXT at this point. Like, it's clear the levels and differences between Roxanne and a lot of the women coming up. I just think it's like that time. But I'm glad that this is going to be a great match. I mean, Lyra's a fantastic wrestler. Roxanne, and even watching her in this match, like, she was just like I feel like she wasn't getting a lot of showcase during like the actual Battle Royal. And then once the Fatal 4-Way went, that's when she was just, you cannot stop her. Like, she is so smooth, so just good. Like, she's too good. And it's so obvious, not to say to the other women, but it's like, Roxanne, she'd been doing this. She be doing this, like, for real. Like, it's like, Man, I was happy. I can't lie. Like, she just is just a fantastic wrestler. You really can't hate on it. If you find a way to hate on it, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're looking for at that point. Because she's giving the girlies everything they're looking for at this point. Kiana, just seeing the growth with her, like, they could never make me hate her. Listen, no. And then also Kalani, I think she's getting a lot from even just being in these things. Same thing with the Iron Survivor match. Just her being in these matches is benefiting her. She's still very early and new, so it's like, yes, I know we all want to see her win for sure, but the grind to this is gonna make when she finally gets that big win so worth it. So I'm willing to trust the process. I mean, everyone loves Kalani. She's clearly gonna be big. You can tell. You just can tell. So I'm willing to wait it out because I know greatness is at the end of that rainbow. Anyways, in terms of Fallon, I was like, please don't let it happen. I said, no yeehaw raised against me shall prosper. No. And thankfully Roxanne was there to say, absolutely not. Not in my house. So yeah, no, this was great. And I love that we had so many different storylines being told within this match. This is the thing that I love about NXT. Like, there's so many women and they have so much purpose. It's not just women there. So many storylines, so many. Literally, I'm so happy with this, and I'm on Team Elektra. I just need to put that out there.
I mean, I don't have much feelings on Elektra or Lola, as you know, but I do think Lola was doing shenanigans, and so I didn't feel bad about. I just like, girl, you was getting beside yourself. Like, you just got here. Relax. The whole no yeehaw should prosper is great. That has to get clipped. That most certainly has to be clipped. But yes, otherwise, it could very possibly be Roxanne's last match. I do think she's a bit, ahead. I think you think of her before she got into NXT, what she was doing, and it's like, yeah, you might need to move her on, But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Otherwise, that is the end of NXT, guys. I thought this was definitely a really, really, really good episode. We got some stuff. Sean did his thing, so he didn't have to get a tweet. Because I've been saying I was going to see people all weekend because there was a lot of shenanigans going on with things I was watching. I was like, what is this? What are these shenanigans, And I do think that, to be fair, no, she never lost it. And so if you could give her one hoorah to get it before she goes, by all means, I'm okay with it, just because she didn't lose it, technically. It was taken. But yeah, that is the end of our NXT. Because I'm liking that they're building all of this stuff up for Vengeance Day. Yeah, no, I was okay with that. And, my people made it to the end. That I was okay with making it to the end. And so, for this, he wanted to tweet today. I have to tweet other people for the shenanigans. Like I said, this last weekend, I was, what the fuck is this stuff? So he's not gonna get one this week. But Shay, tell everybody what you got going on and where they can find you.
You can find me at Shay Sawyer Was Here on Instagram. You can find a new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple. This was, definitely, because, this was a good episode. I'm not kidding, guys. Seriously. We had to have the whole Rock versus Roman talk, and that's always a test, isn't it? And you can also catch me on Twitch, Shay Sawyer. I will be streaming tomorrow. I will warn you now, it's Lego Fortnite. So just deal with me building. You have to deal with me building. And yeah, that's it. You can catch me at Shay Sawyer _ on Twitter, where I'm tweeting random things that have nothing to do with anything 90% of the time, until it does.
As for me, you guys can find me on social media in Cat We Trust, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Twitter, E3. You can check out my latest interview, which was with the team Shake and Bake. Super fun interview I did. Super fun interview I did last week, and so that was fun. And I do have a new one coming out Friday, I believe, with Raylan, aka Chantilly Chella from WoW, and that was a really awesome interview. It was really 10-year vet there happening, and so that was really, really awesome. Got the interview part. That was awesome. And I maybe will stream because I've been playing Overcooked with my daughters, and let me tell you, they've been doing shenanigans. I was doing my job. I just want y'all to know. I did what I was supposed to do. They were not. I'm gonna throw them under the bus right now. They were doing shenanigans. So maybe you'll get some of that because it's been like, let me tell you, earlier today it was a mess. It was a mess. I was like, oh no, what is this? Time is looking crazy. R-Truth is a treasure. And I say that only because of this comment. Not that he's the leader, because it's Finn, but for me it's Finn. But with that being said, R-Truth is so freaking funny. Everything he's been doing with that has just been hilarious. The whole him being added to the CGI graphic, and he's just smiling mad hard, like the whole Tom and Nick Mysterio, him making the coins. I'm all about the coins, and I'm like, yes, just funny. I love R-Truth. Truly, he's just a treasure. Always makes people laugh. I love it. But yes, that is where you guys can catch me. And if it seems less wrestling is, I'm kind of get back to my book stuff, guys. I got stuff happening. Listen, the first meeting I had with Shay, first meeting I knew she liked Finn. From the first meeting. The first meeting was a wrestling viewing party. I knew she liked Finn from then on. So I know how the vibes are. I respect the vibes. The vibes have always been there. It's been the same kind of vibes. You know. Just saying. We got some memeage out of viewing parties and Finn.
Oh my god, don't bring up my trauma. Oh my god, I need to find that photo. I
was actually quite aware that it's Finn because that was the first time I met her, I was aware quite soon. And I was just getting thrown in for the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, like this first time being at a viewing party. So yeah, but as always, guys, truly, we love you guys for always hanging out with us. And you guys actually made me feel a lot better. I've been flaring a bit, and so you guys have made me feel a lot better just with your comments and the shenanigans as always. But we love you guys, and we will catch you guys next Tuesday, same time for the Meta-Two AfterShow. Bye, guys.